I don't know if any of you are anything like me, but I personally have never actually bought a boost pedal. I got sent this one to demo because a company that I use cables from, Loaded for Bear, were starting making some pedals. This one was sent to me by my music tech teacher, Mr. Leyland. How you doing, Rick? And it's essentially a treble booster with a sausage on it because they're sausage dogs. And then this one was my buddy Jake's RC booster from Exotic, which he has in his car basically as a backup in case some of his stuff breaks. So what are boost pedals for is kind of what I wanted to kind of explore a little bit in this video, and how I could use them in my rig or not, and what I've been missing out on. Yeah.
This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
So I think for me personally, the reason that I've mostly skipped on these boost pedal things is that typically they look more like these here, and they're kind of a simple looking pedal, and I've not really determined what my use case for them might be. Now, if you plug into, for example, a cranked Marshall amplifier or Marshall style amplifier with a lot of gain on it, you'll notice that a boost pedal doesn't necessarily do too much. Just listen for yourself here. Versus if you plug a boost pedal in front of, say, a Fender style amplifier set clean, you'll notice that it does a very, very different thing. I think that pretty well sums up for me what you could use a boost pedal for. So there's either this idea that you can use your boost pedal to kind of bring up the volume of stuff, and what that necessarily means is that you're going to have some headroom in your signal chain for that to work. Or you can use your boost pedal to kind of give you more, in which case you want a lower headroom sound. And this is kind of what I've started to determine. So what I felt was that if I just have drive pedals, I'm probably fine. But sometimes what I'm finding playing live now is that my drive pedals are kind of too different in many ways. So it's like, well, my lead tone has got this tube screamer kind of honk to it, and then my rhythm tone is kind of this glassiness, and it's like, well, all of these things are kind of, it's just too different, and when I go to stack them, maybe the results aren't that great. Actually, a boost pedal in this context might make more sense. So I could use a boost pedal in front of my clipping as kind of a more, or like with the Fender sort of stuff, if you just wanted to get yourself heard a bit more, you could put it after your clipping stuff and then use it as a boost in that way. But until I made this video, I haven't really particularly thought it through at all. I'd love to hear how you guys are using boost pedals and which ones you would recommend. From what I hear, the RC booster is actually, well, what I read online, in schematics and stuff like that, a lot of the exotic stuff tends to be sort of tube screamer mods with a Baxandall EQ and then sort of adjustments around the place. So this might not be like a pure booster, but I do like what it's doing, and I like the additional controllability of it, but maybe this is a bit more like a drive pedal in some ways than these other boost pedals here. I think this one is relatively flat from Loaded for Bear, and then of course a treble booster is a pretty extreme EQ if you check out what they're doing. So this one might not actually be ideal for many things. Maybe if you're going into particularly a already very driven tone and you wanted something to give you more but more sizzle, this could do the job of that, a treble booster. But I'd love to know from some of you guys how you're using treble boosters as well, and leave that in the comments, your favorite boosts if you've got them. It's just, this video for me was an interesting experiment, and particularly putting a boost before and after a tube screamer can really highlight the difference and the importance of where you put your boost in your signal chain. Say for example, you've got a fairly high headroom amplifier. One use for a booster that you may or may not have thought of. Say I've got my tube screamer, I've got my guitar clean, my tube screamer. Now if I have the booster before the clipping stage, or like the pedal which has kind of lower headroom than my amp, we should just get kind of like a safe kind of more. And this is kind of where we're going to control the level. So this is kind of acting like, you know, our way of keeping the lid on it. And then it behaves a little bit more like with a cranked amp, right? We switch the order up a bit, where we go from clean, dirt, you're getting a way more significant boost here. For instance, So if you want your volume to boost, put it after your clipping stage. If you want it to just be like a more switch, put it before your clipping stage. The volume's not getting much louder. I'm just getting more of what I'm getting. So just to summarize, if you want your boost to be literally boosting your volume, put it after your drives. If you want it to be giving you just more of what your tonal signature kind of already is, determined by them, but not bringing up your level loads, then put it before your drive pedals, and that can give you a really handy kind of more switch if you wanted more lead, more juice, all of that sort of stuff. And I think a boost pedal for that sort of thing actually might be a better solution in some cases for some of you guys, and for me particularly on my pedal board, than having loads of different drive pedals. What if you think about it, I've got kind of my main 2 drive pedals, and actually this boost pedal which I put in front just gives me more of those flavors, or more gain on those flavors. Might be a good idea, might be bollocks. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Cheers for stopping by.